Welcome back, guys, to Horizon Zero Dawn, where last episode we continued the Hunting Lodge questline by hunting the deadliest game. Firstly, clambering up the Sun Steps tallneck to map more of the land before hunting a Thunderjaw and a new machine, a Storm Bird. Now, having collected those trophies, we soon return to the main quest. I'm gonna get this camp point quickly. Just at least approach it. Be nicely on my way. Easy does it. Right, that's that camp sorted. And then we could turn in. Okay. Back to here. Off we go. Phew. Right, Erend. Should I hand this in yet? Or should I go speak and deal with Erend's stuff? What do you reckon I should do? Because I might get sucked into stuff about Redmore. If I do that, I'll never actually manage to sort out Erend anytime near the future. Because I'm sure there'll just be another quest unlocked for me doing that. Right, Erend. We're gonna sort Erend. I think that's my goal. We did the hunt. We did most of the work. We actually found Olin's house again. How do I get there? It's the next question, really, isn't it? Team's on high. So I just take a right here somewhere? Oh. Well, look what I found. The Mad Sun King. The reign of the Mad Sun King. Be warned, reader, that as a true account of the Mad Sun King Jiran's acts, these glyphs are blotted in blood. Truly, the savageries committed can barely be recounted, so pray to the cleansing sun for yourself and the teller of these tales. You will learn of the grievous wounds inflicted on foreign lands and the reaping of sacrifice, the Red Raids. For the Mad Sun King would order a whole generation cut from each village, so they might more willingly supply sacrifices and be harder pressed to field fighting men on the next raid. The Otalu, who sought to appease with gifts of grain, were slaughtered in such number that upon the following harvest, the maize grew black and blue with the blood of the dead. Against the Osalam, the terror of the sun piled the corpses of their fallen up to the walls of their villages so his kestrels might clamber upon the dead to enter. And in the valley of the barbarian Norla, terrors of the savage east, such savagery ensued that the trees were drooped with corpses hung as grim warnings. Should you wish to read of the Mad King's depredations against his own people, your curiosity will not go unsated within our accounts of the deaths of those sentenced to the Sun Ring. Listed in such detail, you might think it reported by their own chattering skulls once piled outside the city gates. Nor will you find a more harrowing account of his massacre of the Hunter's Lodge. Reading these accounts, you might imagine yourself among its brave hawks as they fought to the last, bloodying the sand from dawn till dusk, or perhaps in the crowds as the loosed behemoths, careened through the stands with the crashing of wood and bone. All this craved bloodletting didn't let the Mad Sun King take in with his pitiless gaze. Indeed, he would not even look away from the goring of his own son in that ring of death. Yes, fair-haired Cadman, the dawn's rising, so degraded and doomed for the crime of standing against his father. Such a true and complete account of the Mad Sun King Delan's miseries cannot be found in the history's annals, all heard from the reckoners of the Sun Priest. It is with a heavy heart that I scribe these events, leaving out no shocking detail, but my debt is to history and to you, brave reader. Sure it is. We found the palace.
Always stay bright, always stay alert.
Indeed, Mr. Man. Right, we need to meet with Erend. I want to continue on the hunting quest, but I feel like we've left Erend waiting a little bit long.
No one goes into the palace without an invitation.
Are you Murad?
Greetings, Aloy. I am known as Blameless Marad. Please come with me. You're needed for an important consultation.
What do you mean? Where's Erend?
He's inside, attending the Sun King, where we should be without further delay. Follow me, please.
All of these people are here to see the Sun King.
Yes, and each has come to ask a favor of him. Unpleasant, but that's politics. The Sun King is eager to meet you, the machine tamer with a curious eye for detail. It's all very intriguing.
I'm not here to intrigue you.
Too late.
First the Oseram gets special treatment, and now Outlanders from the savages could be Sun King haven't heard.
Passed by some Outlander woman? Unacceptable. I've been here for 2 hours, and this Nora goes to the front of the line.
Ignore them. Nobles are like children who whine when they don't get a second helping of dessert.
You just saved that man's life. Ignore them.
What's the Sun King like?
The most important thing is what he isn't like. His father. I think you'll find him to be a reasonable man.
No, there's a thing! It's a book on the...
Aloy of the Nora. She who sees the unseen. Welcome. It would seem you have done me a great service. Erend, tell her what you found.
I checked Ersa's tomb. You were right, Aloy. The body is missing a scar below her right knee. I gave it to Ersa when we were kids, fighting over a toy sword.
If the body is not Ursa's, then we must assume she is still alive. And I will not abandon her.
We only know she was taken, not who took her.
I can help with that. Ersa has an enemy among the Oseram. A warlord named Dervahl.
Impossible. Every clan in the claim has been hunting for him since the liberation. He has to be dead by now.
No other Oseram had the motive and ingenuity to lure Ersa into this trap. I expect to find him lurking somewhere near the border. I've already sent an agent to investigate. He'll be waiting for word from us at the marketplace in Pitchcliff.
I can't move troops to the border without provoking the Oseram. But I could send a few vanguardsmen. And perhaps an exceptionally gifted Nora as well. Erend, Murad, let me discuss it with her privately. I hate to impose further after all you've done, but this is a matter of great importance to me.
It sounds like Ersa means a lot to you.
Without her Oseram vanguard, I would not have been able to liberate Meridian and end my father's brutal reign. Since then, it has been difficult to maintain peace between our tribes. But Ersa has a way of making her people see reason. So you see, I need her back at my side. And quickly.
Who is Dervahl exactly?
To understand Dervahl, you must first understand my father. He truly thought of himself as a sun god. His mind was broken. He believed that blood sacrifice would solve, well, everything. So he raided the other tribes for victims, especially the Oseram. Dervahl fought back. He crafted powerful weapons and rallied his people. My father responded with the ultimate cruelty. He captured Dervahl's wife and daughter and sacrificed them in the Sun Ring.
So, why would Dervahl go to so much trouble to kidnap Ersa?
He felt she betrayed him. She fought by his side until she realized he planned to raise Meridian and butcher its people. And she came to me. Together, we stopped him and liberated the city from my father. Dervahl has spent every moment since trying to get revenge. Mostly on the other Oseram who fought with us. He made so many powerful enemies, I thought we'd seen the last of him. I was wrong.
I'd like to ask you something about the Sundom and its politics.
By all means.
They call you a sun god who killed his own father in order to unite the tribes in harmony. Is any of it true?
They say you can see the invisible, split an arrow at 50 paces, and tame machines at a glance. How much of that is true?
It's not too far off.
Well, I would like to unite the tribes in harmony, but you saw how many courtiers I have to deal with first. Maybe next week.
Quite a place you've got here. You can almost see the little people below the mesa.
You don't approve? Well, I have a secret for you. Neither do I. But we must be patient. Change won't come in a single sunrise.
But will it happen at all, while men live in palaces?
It might. Eventually. If people like you help me bring it about.
Your politics seem very complicated. The Oseram are friends, but enemies too?
I couldn't have liberated Meridian without the help of Ersa and her Oseram freebooters. Many of them have settled here. But the Ealdormen of the Oseram clans in the Claim have become jealous of their success. So have many Karja nobles. It's a volatile situation, especially given the fact that my father raided the Oseram for years. Ersa helps keep the peace, promising a future based on mutual gain. But some, like Dervahl, will never let go of their venom.
What can you tell me about the Shadow Karja? What do they have to do with Ersa?
They are remnants of my father's regime, holding out at the fortress of Sunfall to the west. Like him, they care only for domination, and seek to draw upon the power of the sun by spilling blood in its name. Since Ersa helped me take this city from them, they were perfect scapegoats. Dervahl knew this, of course, and planned it well.
I need to get going.
I know. Well, they say kings should never beg. But please, help me find Ersa.
Who says that?
Well, Murad, for one. Don't hesitate to ask him or Erend if you have further questions.
I'd probably have to ask both, I'd imagine. Go to Pitchcliff next. What have you been reading then? Founding of Meridian. Didn't even go to the collectibles bit. There's some more data points bit. What's with that? The founding of Meridian. We are Karja. In us is the blood of those led by Alaman from persecution and pursuit so long ago. Out of the far savage east we came, guardians of a treasure greater than land or metal, the leaves of the old ones. Araman found the leaves in a ruin, picked out by a beam of sunlight, and he recognized at once their importance. Within was etched the first teachings of how to observe the sun, recognize its guidance, and to understand the place of man. From out of the leaves came the first glyphs, the first writings, so our knowledge could last longer than voices. When our forefathers offered to share this gift, they were driven out by those they had once called tribesfolk. These ones feared to have the light of knowledge brought to bear on their ignorance, or were jealous of its power. So began the long wandering of our people, trusting only that the sun would guide them and deliver them from the barbarian tribes. The path was hard, and marked by the stones of families who fell along the wayside, even Araman's own. The persecution was unceasing from those without purpose, only the desire to debase and destroy, but the faith of the Karja was rewarded with a distant vision, a tower like a solid ray of the sun holding onto the horizon, flashing. Even as their enemies descended upon them, Alaman followed the flight of the Glinthawks, leading his people through looming canyons and teeming jungles. Again they saw the tower, so close now it seemed to reach the very sun itself, and they saw that the Glinthawks perched upon it. Beheld in the light of the sun, the tower, the spire, cast its long shadow upon a mesa across the verdant valley. Alaman knew he had found a haven for the tribe, as this was a place shunned by those without his faith, who cowered from the magnificence of the spire or the shining feathers of the Glinthawks. He named this place Meridian, from a passage in the leaves, and the tribe settled in the protection of the great mesa. They found the site was blessed in every respect, carving their cliff houses from the bounteous resources, and in time from the red rock of the mesa itself, crowning it with the first columns of the city of the sun. Truly the sun gave much to the descendants of our forefathers, granting Meridian great harvests and prosperity, and the bounds of the Sundom for as far as its light touched. In time, seeing Meridian shielded us from the dark arrows and plots of our foes, other foreigners brought trade and tribute. Holy Meridian. Without Spire and Sun, there would be no Meridian, but now and forevermore. It stands as monument to both, and the glory of Ahriman and the founders is reflected anew in each Sun King of the Radiant line and the noble houses of the Sun Court. I'll just get out of it by jumping.
What do you need, Aloy?
Nothing really.
I have to go.
Understood.
Let's forward have a chat.
So, I thought Ersa was dead, and I thought Dervahl was dead. Dead doesn't seem to mean what it used to. Or maybe I'm just an ass. Whatever. All I know is that it's time to find my sister and get some payback. I hope Murad's guy grabs us a lead.
Did Ersa ever tell you anything about Dervahl?
We were both under his command for a while. Sort of. Helped him recruit an army to take out the mad Sun King. But then he got real creepy with Ersa. Needless to say, she wasn't interested, but he wouldn't let it go. Not to mention the fact that we realized he wanted to murder every Karja, not just the bad ones. Long story short, he's a grazer-licking dungbag.
Metal.
Avad seems committed to finding your sister.
Yeah, those two got along. And some people say they shacked up, but I don't buy it. Seems a little skinny for her. Oh, okay, some bad images are forming in my head. Let's just focus on finding her. And kicking Dervahl's ass.
I'd better go.
Don't stand me up in Pitchcliff, okay? Ersa needs us.
Aloy, how can I be of service?
It's obvious that you're an advisor to the Sun King, but what is it you do exactly?
Whatever is needed, of course.
Are you always so evasive?
It depends.
Can you explain where you get your name from? Your first name is legitimately Blameless? Is that on your whatever counts as a birth certificate? I don't know.
You were right about Avad. He seems genuine.
He is the Sun King. I serve him the best I can. What else would you have me say?
Huh. Did you serve the last one as best you could too?
Well, I served him to his enemies. It was the best I could do for the Sundom.
What did you do?
Nothing I could be blamed for.
Okay.
Sounds to me like you're a spy.
There are many helpful voices in the Sundom and beyond. I like to think of myself as a good listener.
So why do they call you Blameless Marad?
Well, it depends on who you mean by they, and what they might wish to blame me for.
Talking to you is tiring.
So they say.
He's a proper politician.
What will I find at the border?
An outpost full of Oseram, most of whom want nothing to do with Dervahl. Still, he inspires great loyalty in those who fought with him against the last Sun King. He will not be caught alone. And don't forget, he is a master craftsman. Nothing delights him more than his dangerous toys.
What makes you so sure Dervahl did this to Ersa?
I don't care for sure or certain. I prefer likely or probably. How many Oseram are clever enough for this ruse? Capable of building the weapon you describe? Who hate Ersa so? More than one? Not likely. Dervahl? Quite probably.
Even if people think he's dead?
That is surely another reason to be suspicious of certain words.
I have to go.
Then you must.
Well, it looks like my reading hasn't ended. The Sun Kings. We found half of the glyphs here. But I guess like the rest of them are all in here as well, really. The Sun Kings, the Chronicle of the Sun Kings. The founder Ahriman, who guided our forefathers from the shadows of the Savage East into the fastness of the Mesa Valley, and who, reading the signs of sun and shadow both, delivered them to the site of Holy Meridian. The bounteous Avad, who oversaw the clearing and sowing of the royal maizeland so that none who walked in the sun's favor should go hungry again, who cut back the jewel to claim the rich estate lands for the first houses of the Sun Court. The far-seeing Sadahin, who expanded the sun's dominion to the north, south, and east, setting a gate at Bright Market Harbor, and who, before the sun in its highest proclaimed these lands would be known as Kaj Sundom. Sabah light, it was good. It was good. Generous Joadan, who stocked the metal markets with the spoils of his own trampler hunts, and who allowed trade from north and south, even permitting outlanders the gift of the counting glyphs, so they might understand more than simply barter. Zablad, the pilgrim Sun King, whose tower was raised to the top of the Ridge of Vales and who crossed the great waters of the daybreak so the Sundom might extend ever further, and to honor this passage, had the great blazoned arch raised on the far shores. Bolderiv, who saw the suns passing into the west as a challenge, and forged after it with a great army to be pushed back 3 times to the great Canyonlands, would be known as the Daunt, until on the 4th time his cohort broke through and were vanished in the lands beyond. Prudent Basadid, who had the mantle of his fallen brother thrust upon him suddenly, who ordered the construction of the fortress of Sunfall and the garrison at Blazon Arch, declaring the land beyond it the forbidden west where only the sun may go. Guvadin, the returner, who strove to bring civilization to the savage east but returned after many strenuous endeavors, saying it was no longer fit for the people of the sun, and called for the building of great towers and walls so this wild land might be observed safely. Ranan, the Firebird, who saw the Sundom suffer unprovoked attack by the Tenakh horde, and who, against the protests of his advisors, accompanied his army to confront them. Under the sun he claimed victory, though he was so greatly scarred he wore his blazoned helmet from that day. Nahasis, who was a hunter as much as a Sun King, and called for the proudest men in the noble houses to prove themselves in competition beneath the sun, and that those who felled the greatest machines would be situated as the first Sunhawk and Hawks of the Hunter's Lodge. The illuminated Marzid, whom the sun visited with visions so vivid and grand, he commissioned many statues and frescoes of his visage in Meridian, and for his summer palace in Sunfall had the great citadel raised, where he remained painting until he took deathly ill from his own pigments. Iron paint? Hivas, elder brother of Marzid, who decreed each family of a suitable male child should submit that child in service of the Sundom's then depleted ranks, and had the artisans turn their attention from works of art to outfitting each soldier of the sun with the very finest armor, halberd, and bow. Jiran, who in his early years was a strong Sun King, defending the Sundom from the encroachment of other tribes and the derangement of the machines, but who became greatly addled and ordered the spilling of much blood in the sun's name, threatening to bring a twilight time upon us. Avad the Liberator, who, of course, his tale has not been written. It is still to be done. Alright, well, we still got that quest to get to, and that quest to get to. One day we will get to them. We have... Oh, the other hunting grounds there. So all the hunting grounds are all these locations. Okay. Pitchcliff. It's all the way up here. Where's the nearest I've been? There's a Banuk figure. There's a corrupted zone. Level 32. The furthest north we've kind of got is kind of in between these points. I think I'll go here, try to get that, and go that way. But that's where we're headed. Ah. I'm being asked if I stealth properly during this session. How dare you? You should have seen my stealth trials. They were some of the best stealth you've ever seen. Picture perfect. 100%. Everyone will back me up on that, won't you guys? Off we go. What do you mean, no more speed for stealth? Well, I guess I'll take the compliment. I was very fast. Very fast, very good. That's true.
These will keep.
Oh, there's another Thunderjaw. Oh, okay. There's more than one Thunderjaw. Oh. I see getting to that flower seems a bit more of a risk. Ow. Oh, wait, I think if I go far over here, around the edge, I'll be okay.
Getting soaked from melted snow.
You're not getting soaked from melted snow. This Thunder guy is just like, I know you're around here somewhere. Like, yeah, I am, but also no, go away. All right, there's the flower. Yoink! Don't you look this way, mister. Even this morning, O swan awake. Arise, follow me. There is a land where no doubt nor sorrow have rule, where the terror of death is no more. There the woods of spring are abloom, and the fragrant scent he is is borne on the wind. There the bee of the heart is deeply immersed and desires no other joy. Run! Sorry, rabbits. I don't know if I actually need your skin, but I will take it just in case. So we were supposed to go left from here after getting that flag, but I may as well just keep on going towards this campsite and then take a left.
All right.
Okay, something's seen me. That's your fault, that is. It didn't have to go that way. What's shooting at me? I also like the sound of the tear blast arrows. Partly why it's one of the reasons why I instantly have them as my go-to in a sense. Oh, you get. Chase me so far. Oh, I filled up my extra 20 resource for my skill points. No! What the hell is a Snapmore patrol? Supposedly I'm supposed to cross here if I want to get that campsite. What was that noise? Like it was having a burp. Looked like that rabbit was trying to run, but just couldn't. Okay, 2 camps, a flower. So, this camp, then up there. Everyone's like,
I'll find a use for.
why don't you just get on a mount? I should probably get this double shot stuff as well, because that's going to up my overall damage quite nicely. So I'll take heavy lifter to take me down the tree. Maybe get double shot and triple shot. We'll go for the actual good things. Obviously, being able to add arrows onto my bow to fire and do triple the damage is very good. Without a doubt. Obviously good. So I like the fact that you just keep running. It goes dark, but you just keep running. Oh, I guess only really works if you know actually where you're going, though. Okay, then up to here. There's quite a long way to go, to be honest. Maybe I should put the quest I'm on as the quest we're on, you know? Into the Borderlands is where we're going after all. Why are you trying to tell me to go back there? Over there. Oh, is it trying to get me to loop back round? I will admit, I'm a bit higher up than I want to be right now. Hello? Nice to meet you. Do you sell any good stuff? A tear blaster? Blasts of compressed air from this close range weapons strip armor and components from machines without the need to aim precisely. Why would I want to aim precisely, right? Shadow Warbow. So we've got the Shadow Hunter bow currently, and the Shadow Sharpshot bow. We can switch up to that and do shock, ice, and horrible corruption. That's the one. I mean, I may as well buy it. Doesn't hurt to buy it for now, after all. Shadow Rope Caster. Larger targets require more ropes, and attacking a time machine will reduce the immobilization times. You can immobilize some things. Let's buy that too. In terms of outfits, we've moved up a little bit. We can get the Oseram Arrow Breaker Heavy as well. Of course, there's more tutorials, but if I get them, I'll get more experience. It's part of the reason why I'm not doing them all. Friendly?
Not sure what that was.
What do you mean you're not sure what that was? That's what it was. Stabby, stabby back. You dumb. What? Emergency acupuncture is coming. Do that corruption site? Well, it's there. I'll see. It's a bit of travel we've got going, though, at this juncture. Autoshake. Hello. Welcome. Let's go upwards. At the moment, I'm kind of plotting a course through unknown terrain, so... Because I don't know the topography, I don't actually know if I can take the bird's eye route I'm trying to be taking. So nothing. See, saw nothing. At times, all you gotta do is act confident, you know? If you act confident, it's all good. He's my friend now.